This is Take 5 with Bentley, Nevada. In the studio with me today, we're joined by Tim Sykes. Tim is the partner sales manager for Augury, and the Bentley, Nevada machine health offering, powered by Augury, is based on a partnership between Bentley, Nevada and Augury. And Tim, you're right in the middle of that, it sounds like, as the partner sales manager.
I am indeed. Thanks for having me, Steve. So my role here at Augury is to work with the Bentley, Nevada sales force to help them and enable them on selling our solution and bringing it to industrial producers, particularly in the energy industry and other heavy industries.
So, Tim, you've got some background in this industry. You and I were talking actually before we started recording, and you mentioned that you've kind of moved from the Ohio area down into kind of the mecca of machinery, Houston, Texas. And talk a little bit about some of the roles you've had and some of the machines you've worked with.
Sure. So I started my career with Rockwell Automation right out of college. I actually had a pit stop, if you will, before I actually made it to Houston in West Texas. So I moved from Cleveland, Ohio to the West Texas oil fields. And this was approximately 2012 when oil was $100 a barrel or more. And it was a very exciting time to be working in the upstream space as a salesperson. But I also saw the bust. And so I left West Texas in about 2015 and relocated to Houston. Shifted focus more to corporate, working with the headquarters engineering functions, but also shifted some focus into the downstream area of these oil and gas customers, as well as working with chemical producers in the Houston Ship Channel. So my career has always been in the digital manufacturing space, always in the oil and gas and chemicals value chain. So really particularly aligned with Bentley, Nevada's core customers. Mm-hmm. And then I moved to Augury about almost 2 years ago now. I'm here as the partner sales manager. I started my career here with Augury and their direct sales channel, helping to build the chemicals vertical for us, which is now one of the fastest growing verticals that we have in our side of the business. And then when we formed a partnership about a year ago with Bentley, I moved over to this role to help the Bentley team.
Well, I know from a credibility perspective, Tim, when you have a background in this world and you're engaging with customers, you know, the ability to kind of understand what it's like to be in their shoes, what their business problems are, what manufacturers face, that's all valuable and allows you to have a lot more intelligent discussion with customers, and frankly, it pairs you pretty well with the typical Bentley person who has a similar background. Tim, one of the things that is very unique about the machine health offering is that it's basically offered as a service, but not only is it offered as a service, but it's a subscription model. And I know there's going to be some people listening who say, well, you know, I'm familiar with subscription models for monitoring machinery. There have been portable data collector-based programs where I can hire a third-party provider to come in, assess health monthly, quarterly, whatever, and they deliver a report. What is it about the partnership with Bentley, Nevada and Augury and the offering itself that is different from that kind of, we'll call it a conventional model based on walk-around data collection?
Yeah, I think two things. One, the very and probably the most obvious one is that we offer a continuous monitoring solution versus one that is periodic or time-based, right? So our sensors are mounted across the rolling elements of a machine. We're monitoring all three axes on every rotating element of that machine. So could be a motor and a pump, and we would monitor 4 different points. We're monitoring those 24 hours a day and continuously providing both predictive and prescriptive diagnostics on those machines. Mm-hmm. And so we don't have the the heartache of a machine being shut down during a data collection period, right, and not being able to get samples, which is something that our manufacturing customers are frequently faced with when they have these portable programs. So obviously, like the continuous monitoring aspect is one piece. The second piece, and maybe a little less obvious, but because our solution is built on the cloud, and because it leverages artificial intelligence, different than what we can do with a portable data collection, we can really truly achieve scale. And so we're working with customers today where we're installed in thousands of their machines across multiple plants and on multiple continents. And that's just not something that you can do with a portable walk-around collection program. It takes too many people, too many resources, and too much time, frankly, to make it consistent and to make it consistent globally. And so our model, because of the technology stack that we're built upon, enables that scalability.
Well, that basically is putting a lot of additional questions into my mind, Tim, and I think we're going to need a few more episodes to dive into that. But what I heard you just say is the kind of conventional portable data collection based outsourced subscription model. If you want to double the number of assets, you're probably going to double the number of hours. If you want to scale it to multiple continents, now you've got to have basically a footprint in all those different places. And so there's not much in the way of economies of scale. If you want to do 10 times as many machines, you're probably looking at 10 times as many hours to collect the data and analyze it and so forth, because it's all essentially, at the end of the day, it's all human based.
It is. And you're probably going to be using different contractors supporting different areas.
Yes.
And so your reporting is going to be different from one area to another, which adds complexity as you try to aggregate that data and analyze it across your entire enterprise, your entire operation to generate insights at scale. Right. And so whereas we come at it from a cloud-based solution, right, that aggregates that more readily and allows us to generate those insights very quickly at scale.
Well, Tim, let's put a bookmark in there. I want to come back to this because there's a lot of rich, I think, stuff for us to explore based on what you've just said. So with that, you've been listening to Take 5 with Bentley, Nevada, a Baker Hughes business. We'll see you next time.